because yeah, look at that. That's awesome. Just cool. But of course we can dress those up a little bit. You could stop here, of course, and use them like they are, but I would like to show you some things that you can do with these if you think, oh, that's a little bit too boring for me, or I want to try something out with these. What can I do? So I would like to show you some things that you could do. So the first thing, of course, is we could stamp a little bit here. I'm using my paper bags sideways, so not like this when I stamp now, because after December, after I have used those paper bags for storing something, I would like to use this material in my junk journals. So that means I will end up, when December is finished, to open this here, or perhaps cut the whole thing off, so that I then can use that like this in a journal. So that this is some kind of a junk journal page with a pocket here and perhaps a pocket here as well if I would cut it here. So that means my stamping will go sideways. But of course you can do that like you want it. One thing that I would do is I would now decide which is the front and the back, because especially when you use that in a junk journal later, then you perhaps would like to consider to have some writing space as well. So that means when I stamp here and make a design to this side of the paper bag, and later on I will fold it like this, when I do nothing here and nothing here, this would give me really nice journaling space in the end. And that's the reason why I'm decorating only one side of the paper bag, and I have decided to take this one because this looks way more interesting to me than the other side. And the first thing that I would like to use are these stamps. These are called Wildflowers. This is the number if you want to check them out. They are a little bit older, as you can see here. 253 is the number of the set, by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. And yeah, let's see. So first of all, we should check if they would fit here somewhere. Yeah, I think so. I want to have some that are a little bit bigger and some that are a little bit smaller, perhaps like this, and the third one here, or actually like this. I mean, that really doesn't matter, but you know. Perfectionist on its way to the perfect result. And I think these wildflowers are just amazing. That is great. And of course you could also go ahead now and collage something here, or put something else like little quotes or something like that there to the bottom. I'm just realizing that I had a stamp that would actually match there really well. Where is it? So this set has this cute little stitching, and I think that could look great. Let's try that. Oh my goodness, that is crazy cool. No. Let's put another one perhaps here. And because December is a collaboration with 49 Dragonflies, we definitely have to put a third one somewhere. Otherwise, Barbara would be really disappointed because of the rule of 3. And now this looks not only really interesting, but it also has some kind of a focal point, something where you later on can do anything that you want, or leave it like it is, of course. And that's really awesome. And what you also, of course, can do now is put some splatters. This time I want to splatter in black because, just because, do you know? Now these flowers come to life with these black splatters. I think that looks really awesome. That's cool, isn't it? And since I need one paper bag per day in December, I want to stamp some numbers as well. Not so bad, not so bad. Okay, when we have that, we can go to the next paper bag. And what you of course also could do is you could choose a paper bag where you think that you have much water-based mediums. For example, here the brushos are relatively dominant on this paper bag, and of course we could try something. For that, I think I will use these numbers because they are cool. Oh, that is not possible because that is a clear stamp and this is rubber. So let's try this one. And I will just put many stamps to this block, really close to each other, so that I can try to stamp with all of them at once. And then we can try to stamp with water. I don't know if that will work here, and that's also really different with different mediums. Here I've used also gesso and coffee, depending on the paper that your paper bag has. It's perhaps not possible with every paper and every medium, but let's try that to get a really loose impression of the stamp. I mean, if you have used distress ink or distress oxide ink to color those bags, then of course this would definitely work. You could lift some of the ink off with the help of stamps and water. That would definitely work, but yeah, let's see if it works with the brushos as well. No, I mean, what is that? You can see some of that. Perhaps that was a little bit too much water. What do you think? Let's try it with the rest of the water here again. Yeah, you can see the water, but I can also see that, I mean, here it begins to react. Can you see that? That's not so bad actually, but it's not what I expected or what I hoped that would happen here. But what we of course also can do, I mean, this is a chance to play around, isn't it? And when we have wet stamps, then of course we could try something. I guess that could be really cool. Let's try, I mean, this is still wet. Let's try to add some spray. This is Uncharted Mariner Distress Spray Stain. That is a little bit messy, I know. Let's take some Salvage Patina. I've never done that, but I think that should work. More water. As I said, I want to have a loose result, nothing crisp or clear. And then let's just press that down. Huh. That is some kind of cool. I like this color, this additional color that it gets here. Let's take the next bag and just do it again, because we have so much ink here, so that we can use it here. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? I like that. And when I have something that I like, why not going on and using the rest of the medium here and just stamping to a few other areas, especially here where it's still white. Of course, you can just stamp here, and look how cool this fades out now. This Uncharted Mariner and what was this? Salvage Patina mixture is really close to some of the blue that we have here, I would say. So what we also could try is we could spritz some more water here, really much actually, and then take a paper bag and try the other way around. Just place it here and then try to press this in. I mean, I guess you will not see what stamp it was, but that's not the goal. The goal is to get something abstract like this. And here, look at the 5. You can see the 5. I'm wondering if you can see it when it's dry as well, but that doesn't matter. That really doesn't matter. While this is still relatively wet, we could try to get a kind of watercolor stamp impression. I'm just taking off a tiny little bit of water so that it not, you know, goes everywhere. And then I take some Distress Oxide ink. This is Uncharted Mariner. And I'm just going to ink up my stamp, trying to get relatively much ink because I want to see if it can fly around here, if it spreads a little bit. Then I'm just pressing that. Ooh, yes, look. It's a little bit hard to see in the camera, I guess, because it's a little bit glossy because of the water, but that actually worked really well. Let's perhaps try another blue, Chipped Sapphire. Oh, I love that. Oh, that is great. That is totally great. That is so loose and abstract. Really, really cool. So let's perhaps try another one with the same technique. That was really awesome. This one is actually really turquoise, isn't it? And what will happen if we try to save some time and just put more than one stamp to this block? Perhaps that also would work. Like this. So let's start with Uncharted Mariner again. Oh my goodness. The camera really can't catch that, but now, can you see it now? This white there, can you see that? This is, of course, the oxide effect of this ink, but look how these are glowing. Oh my goodness. Absolutely amazing. I'm really curious how these will look when it's dry, but that is absolutely amazing. That is absolutely amazing. I think I need to do another one in the same style. Shall we go a little bit crazy with the color? Shall we use perhaps another color? I mean, what do you think? Perhaps, ooh, I know. Let's try Villainous Potion. And I guess that for this technique and to reach a result that is similar to this one, it's really helpful to have a stamp that has not excuse me, so many details, because this set, can you see that this is a really I think the word is solid stamp image, isn't it? That has not so many details, and because of that, of course, you get much ink, and perhaps that's also why this frame looks like it is glowing. I mean, the frame around the image. And here, now this paperback is still dry, so why not trying to just mist it with some water, and then, I mean, this way you would have the colors in the background the same as they were before. Here on this one we've had some more ink on top, but of course you can also do that only with water. Look at that. I'm absolutely in love with this result. That is so abstract. Another thing that I guess could be really, really interesting on those backgrounds is to try to emboss stamps. I've chosen these Illustrated Garden. This is the set 295. I'm not sure if that will work because the surface is a little bit wonky. It's not so flat, but I want to try that. And for that we are going to take this embossing dabber, and I think we will use white embossing powder, and I've just bought vintage pearl without knowing how that will come out, so let's try that let's try that also. But I think we are going to start with the white. I think that can look interesting with the gesso here, that's also white. So let's see, perhaps we are going to take this one because this is not so totally filigree. Goodness. Let's see. It's not as clear as it could be, I guess, but I like it. I don't know why, but I like it. And if you have something like this, I mean, that was my own fault, yeah. I have probably moved the stamp a little bit while I have stamped, and this is not totally flat, this paper. But when this is dry, really cold, then of course you can take something else and make this a little bit more, you know, artsy, and do you know what I mean? So you could just take some of the other stamps, arrange them here like you want them, and then just grab them with the plate, and now stamp with StazOn on top of this. The embossing powder is like some kind of plastic, of course. It's really slippery, but StazOn should be no problem for stamping on top of this. Don't mess it up, Louise. Don't mess it up. And what I'm trying now is to get the black to the foreground and the white as some kind of a background. And I would say that was totally successful. What do you think? I love those little tricks. Is that too much? No, that's actually... Let's try it. Why not? Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Or perhaps, yes, let's do it. Let's make it really abstract. That's actually really cool. So here I messed my stamping up, but I think it's great as well. This platform is new, and I'm not so, you know, we are not like friends yet, and I have to practice that a little bit. Let's just put some black acrylic paint here and there. Of course, that will dry on the embossing powder as well, and I think now I like it. I really like it. Can anyone tell me, please, how is this coming out? I mean, if I look at this would be a great color combination, so we are going to try that. Perhaps let's go really crazy and take him. This set is called Observations 434. I bought this second hand. I've never used it actually. I mean, I don't have it for so long, but I haven't used it, so I have no idea how this will come out. I have seen this man very often on projects that other people have done. Oh my goodness, that's not good. Whoa, this is nearly like the finest sand on a beach. Oh my goodness, that looks so beautiful. In the camera it's actually really boring. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. I think I have to change the name and the content of my channel. Unfortunately, you can't see that. I have a favorite new color and a favorite new thing to do. I think my channel will be renamed into Embossing with Vintage Pearl. I mean, what the heck is that? You can't see that in the camera. That's so crazy. It's in the camera it looks like beige or a little dusty white, but in reality, depending on how the light goes to it, it's a little bit white mixed with a pearl color. Yeah, I mean it's vintage pearl. I mean it has the shine of a pearl. How crazy is that? I mean, when I look at it like this, it's, yeah, okay, it's nearly white. But when I look at an angle or with an angle, then it's, has this pearly shine. So crazy, really crazy. To not get overwhelmed about different techniques, I would suggest that you, since you've found something that you really like, try that out several times after each other. So for example, this here, I mean, this is actually really simple, but I really like that. And it turned out great on the background. I will definitely do that on some of the other paperbacks as well. I've learned that this is not my favorite color palette. The color combination is a little bit strange, but perhaps I can find something to change that up. For example, embossing over this purple would be great. This after it's totally dry, turned out really, really loose. But I love this effect. Perhaps I can find something to make it a little bit more clear-ish, if that's a word, so that these can still be seen, but more in the background. Perhaps I can find something that I can put to the foreground. The same like here. That turned out also really, really nice. I really love this effect, but this is for me also some kind of a background. So let's see what we can do with this. Same here. Even if I here like this really, really, really loose thing, here's a little space perhaps for some butterflies or something like that. This is actually really great. I think I will leave that as it is. And I will leave this as well, because this was just mind-blowing for me with this embossing powder. So now I will take my other paper bags and I will go on. I will speed up the video so that you can watch what I'm doing, but that it's not too long for you. But perhaps you can get some more ideas what you can do with your paper bags. In the end, I will show you all of the paper bags when they are totally finished. So if you want to see that, stay tuned. I guess the only problem with this, throwing things to your paper bags, the only problem is that you can't stop. So I really had to control myself to not, you know, sit here for a week or so, because this is really, really addictive. I mean, this is, with every new paper bag, you get new ideas. With every technique that you're trying out, you get new ideas for the next one. And that's a little bit dangerous, I would say. Because you want to go on and on and on and try out different things, and that's really, really crazy. Here, for example, now I think, why not additionally adding some golden splatters, only a few, like this. You can compare different techniques really well with this, I would say. Too many paper bags at the same time could be perhaps a little bit overwhelming. You could think, okay, 13 paper bags, or if you also want to make 25 as I'm making, I mean 13 in this video and the other 12 in the German video, then perhaps you could think, oh, it's a little bit overwhelming, it's a little bit much. But even if you are a beginner, I would like to encourage you to try that out. Because even if you think, oh, that's really much, you have such a great chance to compare different things. For me, this was really an eye-opener, I would say. It was really amazing. And also when you go from one paper bag to the other, and then later on come back to one, for example, to this here, then you see things that are perhaps missing, things that you could add there, and that could make the whole thing more harmonious and more your taste and so on, or your style, or whatever you are looking for. And look at this, for example. That is the best example, because this purple, in combination with those blues in the background and this green, it was a little bit strange. But with these golden splatters, I would say it's way more harmonious than it was before. And this chance, I would say, you don't have such a chance on a normal junk journal page, because normally you go through your junk journal, you decorate the page, and then you say at a specific point, this is done now. And I think there are only a few people who go back to that page and change something. In the most cases, when you say this page is finished, then it is finished. But here you have the chance, here the same. Let's try some golden splatters. I think that makes a really big difference. I think with this, yeah, look at that. This is really cool. You can get a really cool self-reflection from this, I would say. Here, for example, the whole time I didn't know what I want to do with this, because I liked this impression of the stamping so much that I thought, perhaps, as I said a few minutes ago, perhaps I want to have this in the background and something else for the foreground. But then I looked at it and I thought, don't mess it up. I mean, this turned out so gorgeous that I didn't want to risk to mess that up. With splatters, it's totally amazing. I mean, this contrast with the gold and the blue, and this turquoise-ish blue, is that a word? Bluish turquoise is probably the better version. You know what I mean. This is, now it's a piece of art, I would say. And when you're not sure what you want to do, then with this thing, you have the chance to go forth and back and forth and back and so on, until you are satisfied with every single paper bag. And even if you don't like one, I mean, where's the problem? You can always put that into your stash and take it out later. I mean, I can't do that in this situation because I will need every single of these paperbacks that I'm creating now during December while we are having December. But if you are a normal junk journaler, you know, and you don't need that for your channel or for content creation, content creation or something like that, or you don't need that for a specific project, then of course you could take just one of these that you don't like. This, for example, this would be one that I definitely would put into my stash and take it out later because I don't like that. I mean, I like what is here, but can we perhaps throw some white splatters there? Perhaps that could be the solution. But what I'm trying to say is you could put that back to your stash, of course, if you don't need it in the moment, and then come back later, look at it, and perhaps you find something. Oh my goodness. Like white splatters, for example. Look at that. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. You find perhaps something that makes it complete and perfect for you. And that's, I think, a really big chance with such a project. Shall we add some white here as well, or gold? Perhaps gold. Gold and turquoise and blue. That's a really good combination. Let's save that in the folder of important, you know, things that we've learned. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for your patience and thank you for being here with me today. If you want to see the other 12 paperbacks that I'm going to create during my German video, and if you want to see some variations or perhaps there will happen something unexpected, I haven't recorded the other video yet, so this is the English one is this time the first one that I've recorded. So until now I can't say anything about the German video. I have no idea what will happen there in this process, but there you can see different other variations of this. I mean, I'm sure that they will turn out a little bit different than these have turned out. If you want to see that, check the video out. And yeah, hopefully we will see the next time. And of course, I'm hoping we will see during December when we launch December, our daily inspiration for making ephemera for your junk journals. Have a great day. Have very much fun trying this out and see you the next time. Bye bye.